Welcome to Winning on Wednesday. My name is Juan Vides. I'm the founder of Winning on Wednesday. Winning on Wednesday is a platform that meets every Wednesday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And the purpose is to simply to get to know each other. I always say people do business who they know, like, and trust. And we're here always help build out the brands and build out the networks and advertise. And one of the things I want to introduce one of our members, our WOW members, is Jim Cook. Hey, Jim, how are you?
Good. I'm not going to say good morning, but who knows when people will see this. So, greetings, Sir Juan.
Good, good. So, Jim, quickly, please introduce yourself.
It's real simple. My name is Jim Cook. The company's Cooks Outsourcing Network. We're a global boutique agency that will take entrepreneurs and founders to the institutional and investor level, and then we get fired.
Excellent. So, tell us where did it all begin? Where did it all got started, Jim?
Well, to give you an idea, the my hometown is called Lawrenceburg, Indiana. When I was born, was born in Cincinnati, Ohio, because Lawrenceburg did not have a hospital. So that gives you an idea of how small the town was. And top of that, it was a county seat, and a lot of farming. Most of it was farming, agriculture, that kind of routine. Um, that's all I got where I got started. The Like I said, didn't have a hospital. First of all, I live in Florida now, so the first thing I have to do is explain where Indiana is. Then I have to explain where Lawrenceburg is. But
Exactly.
that's how I got started.
Wow. Wow. And how old were you when you moved from Indiana? Did you stay in Indiana all your life, or did you just?
Yes, I was
Yeah.
born, raised,
Mm,
very strong, small community environment. Very, very active on the outside world. Um, got drafted, got out,
wow.
got my undergraduate from Indiana University. Um, in fact, out of that, I got 19 job offers and took the worst one.
Oh, so
Mm.
you went to the service, right? Service,
Yeah, yeah,
which
I was the Vietnam draft era, so
well,
we can skip that. And I used
well,
the GI Bill to get the
okay.
degree.
Well, listen, I just wanted to say thank you for your service because, I value my freedoms and I thank always people that I don't take my freedoms for granted. So I just wanted to say thank you for your sacrifices and your
Appreciate
services,
that.
sir. So thank you.
Interesting times.
Yeah,
Interesting times.
definitely, absolutely, sir. And it's always and so tell us when you were in Indiana, what did you have any aspirations to be? Like, what did you want to grow up to be as a kid? Like, I know we all have different ideas when we're younger. I just want to know your thoughts, what you wanted to become.
I don't know about inspirational ideas. I probably didn't have any ideas at all until I got to college. Um, had a scholarship as a wide receiver at Indiana, but had an injury my senior year, so that one shot eligible for draft. I took care of that. Inspirational, it just happened. I've learned a lot. I've traveled a lot. I read a lot, and if I don't learn something every day, it's been a bad day. As to growing up, no, I really didn't have anything, but I absorbed a lot, and that brought me to some very successful and a few failures to this point.
Mm. And what about hobbies or interests? Do you have any hobbies?
Let's go interest first. Interest is family first. End of story. There's no discussion on that. Three kids, seven grandkids.
Wow.
As to
Bless.
hobbies, even living in Florida, I climb mountains. The
Wow.
Colorados, the Montanas, the Utahs, the Idahos. I've done them all. I've a lot in Asia and a lot in Europe.
Which
My
which is
hobby is climbing mountains.
which is your favorite one? Oh, your
I think
memorable.
the most interesting one is something called Angels Landing. Angels Landing, probably the hardest hike I've had in 4 or 5 years. It's in Zion Park. It's only 5,000 some odd feet high, which is not very high for a mountain. But the actual trail is only 1,400 feet. So you take 1 foot forward and 4 or 5 feet up.
Wow.
I mean, you got paths this wide
Wow.
And then you got the chains to hang on to and hoping all
Oh
the
my
pegs are in
goodness.
and everything else.
Wow.
And it really gets complicated when somebody's, because there's bends along these chains. And when
Yeah.
somebody's coming the other way, that's when you have to know your stuff.
Wow. That's I give you a lot of credit. I mean, what really like got into you that like that? Did you just like like what made you decide to go into those like
It
I
wasn't because I
mean
was smart. I played full court basketball till I was 65 with high schoolers.
Okay.
When I turned 65, I laid out a lunch and saying I quit because I couldn't heal fast enough. But a broken finger used to take 2 weeks, and a broken finger is 2 months, then you're out of shape. So what am I going to do until? So I picked up. I didn't think I would last this long, so I picked up mountain climbing.
Oh wow. That's just so amazing.
And
That's
I thought I'd do about 4 or 5 years, but I've been climbing mountains now 75 or 10 years.
what's your next one?
There's a flip between. I got some people in Australia I work with. We may do Kilimanjaro
Oh wow.
if some of the African and only base one instead of base 1, 2. I've got 7 people I hike with in this country. We're down to Gunnison area and the Tweeners in Colorado, and a park I found in Utah.
Oh
So we'll
wow.
know in September when I get
Well, wow, well, that's amazing. And well, thank you for sharing your passion. I mean, that's definitely the motivation and drive that gets you going, right?
Well,
It
I'll tell you one thing, it keeps you in shape because you get, yeah.
yeah.
When I get ready, let's say we do Kilimanjaro, I'll be up to 30 to 60 flights of stairs a day for a month.
Oh wow.
And then you wear a mask, and that mask will tell you you can turn off the oxygen to the altitude. So by the time
Wow.
you get there, you're because most people don't realize when you hike those type of things, getting up is relatively easy. You know, it's hard. What they don't realize is coming down, you use the same muscles a different way. So
Wow.
if you don't
Never
get
thought about
yourself
that.
in shape going up and down, when you
Right.
come down, that's when it hurts coming down because your muscles, same muscles, are doing everything backwards, and it'll
Oh,
tell you real quick.
wow.
And the mask
And
with the oxygen
and it,
helps you not get sick.
but I'm also thinking about the images, the pictures. You must have taken beautiful shots up there, right? Spectacular shots up
Oh,
at
I've
the
got glaciers, I've got
uh,
sunsets. I mean, it's
wow.
and they're going back to Angel's Landing. If you get to the top, which most people don't, there is the last 400 feet, three or 400 feet, like this. There's like a 10 foot by 10 foot by 20 foot high block in the middle of nowhere, and then you climb up there, and it's so understandably unrealistic that you don't no pictures. All you've got is a magnificent valley, a mile and
Wow.
a half below you, and
And
it's it's
it's breathtaking, I'm assuming.
it's it's beyond breathtaking. You don't
As-
take pictures; you just sit there as long as you can because you got to come back down.
All right. Wow. So tell us what made you decide to do what you're doing now. So tell us, what you're doing now.
Well, we're global now, but we didn't start out that way. The Everything I know to what I'm doing now has been absorbed. After graduation, undergrad, I went to one of the Federated stores in Miami. Worst paying job of the 19 job offers. I had to find out if I could compete in the business world, and retail is one of the areas to find out. Eventually, I became one of the Federated buyers up in Cincinnati in a Berkshire Hathaway stint. Um, Gillette hired me to bring in Braun appliances from Europe. That very moment is my first 1099 job, was bringing in Braun appliances. Gillette got bought out by P&G. That got me into all sorts of consumer products through P&G, Gillette, and all that. That knowledge, that experience with that level taught me a lot on how to run a business, but not necessarily how to start one. So I started a couple businesses, and the very first one was an absolute failure, which you learn more from failure than you do from success. Then I got smarter and smarter. Then as the Disneys and the level I ended up working at, I knew a lot. So It's a large company now. We are global. We teach, not knowing where they're on their journey, we teach startups, pivots, people who need traction that are having the speed bump, what I call speed bumps or pain points, so that they can't get to the next level. So our job as a company is to take them from what now to now what. So they're anticipating it. So our job to get to this point globally is to help others know what they can and can't do. We take them to the institutional investor level, then we get fired. That's my business model. Work real hard, get fired.
Oh, thank you so much. This moment, I like to say the golden nugget moment. If you'd like to leave any information that could better somebody, their career, or better the,
Right
the rest of
here is
the golden nugget.
Juan's golden nugget number 7,500. Actually, there are two. One is for the founders out there listening. The people who vote up your success or vote down your success are your customers. They vote with their money. Highly, highly suggest we run a very, very, very vigorous MVP that get your customers involved at the MVP level. You need them from day one before you even do a business plan. So if you are a founder, get your potential customers, get your MVP. I mean, we have a tough one. Get your customers involved early. They vote rather quickly up and down. The other thing, I think the biggest nugget to pass on, I don't know where I got it. It's called mindset. Both the founders and lifestyle, life choices, it's called mindset. I got a great quote on mindset. Your mindset is the decision. Choose well. And almost everything going forward, if you keep that in mind, the only analogy I can think of, it's easy to understand. You've been wrestling with grandkids for about 2 days, and you got to get up in the morning. So the first thing in your mind, I have to get up or I get to get up. That's the difference in the mindset. I have to get up or I get to get up. Extrapolate that into all of your business decisions, and you'll learn the discipline it takes as a founder to grow, and you'll learn what it takes to understand other people. If you understand you get to get up, you don't have to get up.
Absolutely.
Two nuggets there.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing that. And I totally agree with what you said. And it's, one of the things I always tell people about also the customer experience. And like you said, the customers vote with the dollars, and you really want to keep it and keep satisfies them. And sometimes often we forget, that we're too busy and we forget to service our customers. So keeping our customers in all that, it's really important. You brought that
Well,
up. So
there's going back to this while we're here, there's the 80-20 rule most people know. But I use the 80-20 rule two different ways. All right. You learn from the 20% that are giving you 80% of your business. They'll tell you what to change, what to kid, what they like, what they don't like, especially when you get used to it. The other part is dropping the 20% on the bottom that cannot, will not, for whatever reason, make a decision. Don't waste, you only got 24 hours. Don't waste your time and energy on trying to find people that you're not going to find. So use the 20% above and the 20% below. Drop them. One unique part of one of them has to be critical, and the other one has to be as critical on the other end. You've got the same. Everybody's got the same 24 hours. It's how you use those 24 hours.
wow, Jim, the great advice. That's excellent advice. Thank you so much for sharing that. And also, we want to know, do you belong to any other network or communities, or besides WoW? I know you. Thank you for being a member at WoW. And
The funny part is, this is for not Juan. We just, not him. We just finished a Winning on Wednesdays, and I've always found something to learn on each and every time I'm online. Yeah, we're, like I said, we're a global company. We do global chamber of commerce. We do BMI. We probably do 10. Well, this is me, and I'll job them out to our people. We probably do 10 global, not as big as those two, and we'll do 10 regionals, of which Winning on Wednesdays one. And here's going back to a semi nugget. You as a founder, you use The more networking you do, you get out of the office networking. You're going to learn more talking to complete strangers than you are talking to your staff all the time.
Yep, that's 100% true. Different mind, different mindset, different
Yeah,
person. Yeah, different mind.
absolutely. You can't
Absolutely.
learn if you're in the office all the time.
Wow. So tell us about your business. Tell us about the services that you offer. I know you mentioned it earlier before, but we would like want to go and give us some examples of, some of the clients you services, industries, or we want to go more in detail with the
We've
services
got
you
an
offer.
odd pricing structure. Let me start backwards.
Sure.
We have something called menu pricing.
Mm-hmm.
Menu pricing is you go to a restaurant, it's got 50 items. You do not order them all. You pick and choose what you want to order. You get it off the menu. That's what we offer in our pricing structure. We do nothing until we get, and business people understand this, until I get an ask, I cannot give you a bid to that particular part of your ask. So in other words, if you need a website, we have three options for you. We can do it completely. We can monitor your webmaster, all right, to make sure it's done to the standards we're looking for, or we don't do it at all. So that's off the menu. It's menu pricing. Each one of those three, one is zero price, one will have a single dollar bill, and the other one might have $2 or $3 bills, depending on the size of the company and where they are in their journey. Each ask will be like that. We'll discuss what's needed. We'll come back. A good example might be research. Ashley does the light research. Steve does the deep, deep research. And the reason I bring researching up, we do not work with everybody that contacts us. Out of 100, we may talk to 2 or 3. We have a filtering system, both domestic and international, of 3 steps, probably a total of maybe 600 questions to make sure that you're ready. The solving of a problem with a scalable market is not easy, especially if it's not proprietary. So we want to make sure your company and your solution to the world gets out there. If there is anything, one item out of that, a good solution to a recognized problem to a scalable market, and each one of those will have 20 questions. If there's any one question in there that you cannot match, competition, unknown competition, we'll come back and tell you, no, you're not ready. All right. But the ones we get involved with, we drive them to the venture capitalist institutional level, and then we get fired. How many business models you get fired if you do a good job?
Yeah.
We are very strict on who we work with, but it always
Exclusive. Yeah.
it's not necessarily exclusive. That we know what works.
You're
We will
right.
not give you a template like the whole menu. This is what you got to take. No, you pick what you want to take off the menu, or you ask us where your pain points are, and then we'll address those pain points. And with the menu pricing, you can pick out what you want. Example would be a website.
Excellent. So they're giving them a lot of options. So that's good. But Jim, thank you for sharing your story. And what's the best way to contact you, by the way?
Online right now is my name and my email address. If you would like my LinkedIn, give me a note. If you have, I do a lot of Q&A. If you got some questions on what we offer, give me a couple of questions the same time you drop me a line for the LinkedIn.
Okay, excellent. Thank you, Jim. This has been wonderful. And if you'd like to be a guest on Winning on Wednesday, please simply go to our website, winningonwednesday.com, and click on the first time guest. And we hope to see you next time. Thank you again, Jim.
Juan, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Take care.